We've been working on this project since early October of 2024 in two separate phases. First phase finished before Christmas. Second phase started up again in February, and we had to get a good chunk of that done for Easter. And we are presently finishing off the last two cherubs in the organ loft on the north side. And we're hoping to be finishing up in the next couple of weeks with all of our work. So the original scope of work, because there were so many unknown questions about what the outcomes would be and how easy it would be to remove the overpaint, the plan initially was to remove the overpaint from about 4 or 5 of the cherubs, and then replicate those on canvas and attach them over the overpaint. And that was because it was deemed to be a really difficult, time-consuming project, and that we wouldn't be able to accomplish it. Fortunately, we were able to devise a cleaning system or a overpaint removal system that worked really efficiently and safely. And the upshot is that in the end, we were actually able to uncover all of the cherubs. And this is especially great because all of the cherubs that we have in the church have their own personality, characters. They're not posed the same way. There's a beautiful rhythmic kind of pattern as you look across the tops of the arches. And that's something we wouldn't have been able to achieve if we'd gone for the first plan. So it's always good to make a plan, but also really good to, work through things and modify that as you can. Yeah, they're kind of, they're very relaxed actually. When you think of 1727 when they were painted, you think it'd be much more formal or anything, but they're actually got a really kind of lively kind of attitude to them. And what's really interesting about them, they seem to be based on probably relief stone sculptures in churches in England, because we knew those were there. And obviously, John Gibbs, who painted these, was not a sculptor, but he made these kind of faux renditions of relief sculpture on the walls. So it's a really cool looking thing. And it's an area where somebody needs to do more research because it's really fascinating what we've uncovered. So we know from previous analysis that there are at least 5 to 6 layers of overpaint covering the cherubs and the festoons. In terms of their removability, the upper layers are actually acrylic paint, which actually dissolves very easily in a lot of the solvents we use to do this kind of work. What's toughest is actually the first layer of paint that was applied in 1912. It's the oldest one. It's the most, what we call, polymerized and toughest. And so when we get to that layer, that's the one that takes a little more effort to get off, but we've got solutions to getting it off, which is a good thing. So in terms of the treatment, almost all of the angels have actually reacted very consistently to the work we've been doing to them, whether that's removing the overpaint or the amount of restoration we have to do. We have found that one of the cherubs in the organ loft has experienced a little more damage, suffered from a little more damage, probably as a result of either moisture or a little bit of water infiltration. And basically, it weakened the bond between the paint and the plaster, but it's isolated to the perimeter of the image. So the head of the cherub and the wings are pretty well intact. So that's good. So after we remove the overpaint from the cherubs and the festoons, the first order of business actually is applying a protective varnish layer to that. And it's a synthetic resin, it's not a natural resin that will discolor over time. These resins we're using are very stable. They don't yellow over time. And they're pretty easy to remove in the future, so that's a good thing for future restorations. So once we've applied that and resaturated the colors, we are using conservation-grade pigments, colors, to actually tone in and what we call in-paint or retouch the areas of damage. We try to keep the restoration really isolated to where the damage is so that as much of the original paint shows through. So with that restoration of the actual images of the cherubs, what we also did was we applied a historic color, which was discovered. It's actually on the windows here too, the window trim. It's sort of a tan color, basically to unify all of the cherubs so that they look like a thing in and of themselves. We didn't want them floating, in the midst of this white paint in the background. So really to bring some order and unity to all of them. So I think when visitors come in here and start learning more and more about them, that they just reflect on the fact that we're so fortunate to, again, be witnessing something that was here at the beginning of the building of this church. Just like here we are, one little moment in this long span of time, and hopefully it'll continue for at least another 300 years.